Bro.
Do
Bruh.
it.
Bro,
Do it.
I'm so tired.
Bro.
Oh God.
Dude. Homie.
I thought this was gonna be rolling, and I would just slide in the side door, but nobody around here pulls the trigger. Pew pew. Pew pew, pew pew, yeah.
Oh, I'm currently flying the best limpet in the game, so just leave me alone. The Cobra 5.
The Cobra 5
really
best
does
limpet
manually
ever.
scoop. It's a great at scooping. It kicks
Yeah.
the hell out of having limpets. This is amazing.
Huge
great
gap.
at everything.
Huge gap in the game. A ship that was just needed to be good at scooping. I'm glad we gave it.
Can it deliver fuel?
Time. I probably could.
What are we doing?
Bring it over here and have it repair my ship.
All right.
Do railguns repair? We'll have to check it out. Never mind. We'll check it out.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Loose Screws podcast. It's the 15th of May in 2025.
33 of something.
11?
Oh, really phoning it in. You sound how I feel.
We're just following what FDev does. What we've got.
Oh my gosh. Well,
shots fired already. Sorry.
I'm Commander Jay Antrax, and I'm joined tonight by top to bottom Commander Baromir.
Hey, I'm on top.
Means you're the best.
You're the best. Commander Chig.
Hi, I'm right in the middle.
Commander me. I already said me. Commander Oblivious.
I'm the last one.
Guys.
What?
The bottom.
What a week. I had some plumbing backup in my house, and I'm trying to fix this house up to get ready to sell it in a couple of months. And I'm
taco night.
Up to my ears. Up to my ears in it already. Touch up painting, just organizing, do all kinds of stuff, getting ready to we redecorate, we stage the thing up so it's it sells really good. We've done this before. Anyway.
Now, did you decide to sell it before or after the plumbing backed up?
Well, that's what I said to the plumbers when they got here. I was like, fuck this place. I'm selling it.
And when you said you were up to your ears in it, I thought that's what you were talking about. It's the backed up plumbing. So.
Oh my God.
It was on Friday. I came in the house. There was some water had pooled up in the kitchen sink. And I was like, oh shit, this is not good. Once in a while, we have a garbage disposal, and I'm not careful about what I put in it. So it's happened before. I clean it. I take the sink apart a few times in the years since I've had this house, and I'm like, whatever. So I pulled it apart. I cleaned the stuff out of the trap, put it back together. That was not the problem. It filled back up again, and I was like, shit. So I have a pipe snake. But it's not like a motorized. It's not like a nice motorized one. It's like this hold it, by your hand thing and rotate the stupid barrel chamber. It doesn't. Anyway, the point is, it's too much for my two-handed pipe snake, and I have to call a plumber. They don't get here till Monday.
It's a weird flex.
They don't get here till Monday. So the whole time we're not using the kitchen sink, which is, a pain, but whatever, I'll work around it. And except on Sunday, I go to use the shower upstairs. Well, you better believe that those drain into the same pipe somewhere down below the sink.
Sure.
And I come down and I thought we were in the clear. I'd checked all the other bathrooms and everything. Anyway, it was filled right up to the top. I stopped that shower exactly at the right moment. And I had to scoop this water out with buckets and put it down the toilet. And it was anyway, so they get here Monday. They had trouble with it. So I don't feel that bad. Not that embarrassed. So anyway, what are you going to do? Is what I say to that. they got it fixed. But I'm overwhelmed by everything. And today I got between work and everything, and then I'm trying to like paint in the house, and I had to get it done when my daughter was at her dance class. And I ran back out, and the equipment wasn't put away, and then I come to sit down here, and I was fully expecting you guys to be past all this, and I wasn't going to tell this story at all, but nobody had started the recording. So anyway, now you got to hear it. Yay.
Well, the listeners can thank us. They got to hear an awesome sewage story.
They got to hear an
Yeah.
awesome plumbing story. I have not played Elite because the Power CZs are broken. So the only thing I've done is vote on the issue tracker and try to get that sucker confirmed and promote it on Discord. By the way, check the show notes, vote on the issue tracker. I think it may have gotten to acknowledged status today. But, 26, 27 weeks in, it'd be about time they looked at a bug that basically prevents Power CZs from working, right? Right? No? Yes?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
And
CQC
before
still
anybody
broken.
Yeah, see, you're right, exactly. And before anybody ats me, yes, I know, they seem to have fixed the one where North Americans aren't allowed to play in Power CZs.
I
they did
don't
not
think you can say that.
Well, it has been working a little bit more reliably since their speculative fix. However, the real bug is that there aren't any Power CZs because whenever powers conflict in a system, it throws the BGS into conflict, and BGS conflicts displace power conflicts. So there aren't any with which to test.
Right.
Fix it, FDev. It's been 26 weeks. It's embarrassing.
It's a bummer.
Yeah.
Real bummer.
All right, my turn over.
That's the show.
All right.
That's it. Ba-da-da-ba-da-bum-bum.
Who's next?
I believe it's what do you got going on, buddy? What's going on in your world?
Oh, going at the bottom of the list now. Well, let's see. I won't talk about plumbing because I'm done with the plumbing, and I'm very pissed off at Home Depot.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So I'm ready to close up the walls, but I've found a few of the wall joists that are proud, and that backer board needs to be nice and straight. So
Yep.
I've ordered a planer. Great sale from Home Depot. Just a smoking hot deal. And they said, we'll ship it to the store. It's overnight. It'll be there Tuesday. That's great. Tuesday comes along, and it's 9:00 at night, and it's still saying it's going to be here Tuesday. And then it's 11:00 at night, and it's still saying it's going to be here Tuesday, and doesn't show up. So today I finally called them because they did finally update it. It said on the online, it said, your shipment has been delayed. When not just
No
delayed.
shit.
Why not tell me what the new ETA is? It's not. And I said, well, if you've got any questions, call this number. Great. So I call the number. And I hit the IVR, the auto-attended IVR. And what are you calling for? And I'm saying I'm calling to check on the status of an order. Okay, so that we can identify that you are who you say you are. Tell us what your address is. And I tell him what the address is. And he said, I didn't hear you. It's the auto-attendant. I didn't
my
hear you.
God.
So I repeat it. Okay, we'll send you over to an attendant that can help you, and it transfers. And it's another auto attendant asking me the same questions. And then says, now we're going to send you to someone who can help you. Then it loops me all the way back to the very first auto attendant that starts asking me the next question. So it gets to the part that says, tell us what you're calling for. I'm just yelling at it at that point, saying, I want to talk to a human. I want to talk to a human.
Spamming 0.
3 times and spamming zeros, I finally got to the human. Now, here's what's great. When I got to the human, I gave her the order number. She said, okay, I can see this problem here. But she said, but make sure that we're talking to whom we're supposed to be talking to. Can you tell me your name,
My God.
your address, your phone number, and your email? And I'm going, you need all of that.
You need as much
Great.
security as possible on a planer, apparently.
Oh my God.
You're not asking them to like do bank transactions for you.
Right, but she needed all 4. So I gave her all 4, and then they were able to tell me that part that I was supposed to get on Tuesday is supposed to show up next Monday. Great. Okay, fine. So I'm not real happy with Home Depot. Failure to execute. That's my
Yeah.
story.
Step it up, Home Depot.
Armory, got any brick and mortar?
Don't you wish they had
store?
an issue tracker? Then we could get something done, huh?
That was that deal where they said, well, would you be willing to take a survey? Just hang on after the call is completed. And I was ready to do that, but I forgot to hang on. So I didn't get to schedule my issue tracker with them. So Barrymore,
Oh,
what's your sad story?
well, actually, I don't have one. This weekend was
Okay.
beautiful, and it was warm, and
Oh,
I
good for
got,
you.
it was sunny. The rainbows were flowing, and the
Jeez.
bees were pollinating, and no, it was this week has been actually rough work wise. But it was the end of, for whatever reason, all my friends, and I think I've said this before, have birthdays at the end of April, beginning of May, and I've just got out of that kind of season. I think I gained 10 pounds between late April and now. So that's how much I've been just letting it slide for sure. It's going out, having a great time. So the past weekend, me and a couple of friends did get together. It was kind of nice. Did some hiking, which it's been a while since I've done some valley hiking. In my part of Ohio, we do have some hills and whatnot. So did some valley hiking, and that was very tiring, very cool. And actually in Elite, mixing some things up lately. It wasn't this past week, but I remember that just recently Quasi and I have been doing kind of ground settlement stuff for the first time. I know tracks you, myself, and Audaxius and Oblivious in a weird Overwatch position did some ground data transfer stuff a little while ago, and I tried blowing everybody up, but
We're not sure what he was overwatching.
well, he was trying. Oblivious was trying to point me towards a door, since I don't know how the settlements are laid out, and I was just running laps around the settlement. Anyways, as fun as that was, stealth is such a ridiculous thing in this game. On those ground settlements, it's just, you know what, I did all the right things. I took someone's profile, I cloned it, I got into that level 3 security. As soon as I open up that door, there's a guard right there who I have to let scan me, or else he'll shoot me. But when he scans me, he'll see the profile I stole.
Yeah.
Well, I just went out, got my SRV, and just waited for them all to round a corner and just murdered the whole.
You could just dust him quick before he has any alarms to go off.
Oh, this is why I gotta have you with me. This ground stuff.
Stealth in Elite Odyssey is kind of it's like binary.
Mhm.
Basically, you have to put the stealth mods on the gun, and there's one for
Indoor, one for outdoor.
there's one for indoor and one for not in atmosphere. Those are two separate things. So basically, if your gun has both of those, or if you're just in the right environment, then it'll be really quiet. Like, you can shoot somebody, and if nobody's looking at you, and I've experienced it too, like I've been with friends, and they don't even realize that I've shot, and I'm like right next to them. And then it's like, if you don't run, then I guess you're sort of quieter. Like, you can come up behind people if you're not running, and they don't always turn around. But if you like run even for a second anywhere, they just spin around. I don't know. So it's weird. There's no like
there's some
art
F10
to it.
statements. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a little bit,
Yeah.
but there isn't really an art to it. It just kind of happens. It's like, if you've got the gear done right and you just walk places, then people don't really pay attention to you unless you're like in their field of view. Or something, as best I can tell. But
if you show up running around and acting like Yosemite Sam, then you're going to attract a lot of attention.
Yeah, if you have not
Start
silenced
blasting.
guns and you discharge weapons, then people will notice from afar. Now, what's funny is it doesn't really sound any different to me, but I'm like shooting guns right next to Audaxius' head, and he's like, "Oh shoot, there's a guard there. Wait, what happened?" And I was like, what do you mean what happened? I shot him in the face. He goes, you did? And we're like shoulder to shoulder. So there's like no visual or audio cue whatsoever to other people when you have silenced guns. So I can heartily endorse those mods. That's basically what I did. I just like fully silenced my kit, and that's it. That's what I do now. I power play occasionally.
So now when we play with Trax, we make him yell "booyah" every time he pulls the trigger.
Well, that way we know we're all in the loop at that
Right.
point. Right. That reminds me of a discovery I made in Elite. I can sell all of my on-foot mats to the bartender, not just trade them. I can sell them.
If the bartender's buying.
Yeah, he's buying. Oh, they were buying. I don't know if that was a glitch or not, but I got rid of all of my care packages and finally stopped soft locking that screen full of care packages. That's my week. What do we have going on with you, Chig? How's it going?
Well, it's going. Discord, I just, everybody with this power play stuff happening, so sometimes things stir up salt more than others. I find it, I don't want to say entertaining, but
You could say that.
Well, chuckle worthy, because it's like, this is the first bug Lark Shadow's ever experienced in this game. So
That's right. He does say that.
And he's turned it into like this crusade where he's going into other Discords, drumming up, support for it, trying to get people to, go to the issue tractor.
Issue tractor? No, that's right. That's going to be it. I'm going to write that down right now.
He does so much farm sim. I'm assuming
with
he's got an
issue on the issue tracker.
Issue tractor for sure. But so he's all over this thing, and I think part of it is because this one really has you upset, Mr. Trax, is because this is a game loop.
You think I worked up Lark?
I think because you are very careful about getting too salty about things. You always have. You don't go over the top on it. Even when they disappointed you so bad with Odyssey when they canceled VR, and
they sort of insinuated VR might come down the line, and then they admitted that it wasn't gonna.
You definitely have gotten mad in the past, but you don't get all irrational and start freaking out about stuff. But this one really, it feels like one of the straws that's finally broken.
Yeah.
You're back a little bit, kind of the hill you're kind of dying on right now until they get this figured out. You are like done with the game at the moment.
I faded I came in the Friday before the plumbing incident. It was right after the last podcast I was on. They had just made this change that I take credit for as my idea and made defending less powerful than attacking in power play. I was like, this is fantastic. This is amazing. And then it was like, oh yeah, Trax, did you forget that power play doesn't work because power play conflicts don't work because BGS conflicts displace them, and A causes B invariably within a matter of hours? Oh, right. And I logged on Friday after the podcast to play some BGS, some power play conflict, and they were gone. And I was so disappointed and so upset. I'd just been working and painting on the house all day. And I was like, I want to play a video game. And it wasn't there. And yeah, I kind of raged out a little bit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that caused you stomach issues, and that led to plumbing issues. And you can send the bill to FDev for that plumber.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Yeah, I think you might have an actual case. But, suing, internationally can be a bit of a hassle. So maybe just throw it on the issue tractor and go from there.
Yeah. One of my good friends is an attorney.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
But I mean, that's what's always funny about this game is there are bugs here and there. Me and Oblivious were talking before the show a little bit. And it's, when you first start, playing this game and you first kind of discover some podcasts and you hear people complain about bugs in the game, like I remember it seems like yesterday, but I've been playing this game like 6 years now. I don't know. I've been on this podcast for 5, so I've been playing the game for another year or so before that. And I remember listening to like Lave and even Loose Screws before I join this community and hear people complain about random bugs in the game. And I was always like, what are you talking about? That's never happened to me. And then you get farther into it and then you discover bugs and you kind of work around them or convince yourself they're not that bad. And then eventually shit just starts to bug you. And then you take, weeks off of the podcast because you don't want to be that guy complaining about the game. And, because you still love playing the game, and you just kind of go about your business. So then when one is in our game loop, very close, everybody getting upset, and I'm like, yeah, well, imagine if your favorite game loop was CQC. Fuck y'all. I don't care, so I just been waiting for that to get fixed for a long time, and it is what it is. So I'll just go do other stuff. But like this week, you mentioned the on ground stuff, I always found just going in, just murdering everything because the sneaking around just wasn't worth it. You could accomplish the same stuff, just killing everybody.
Mm-hmm.
But like I've been doing these safeguard missions, and this is how stupid these safeguard missions are. Daxis actually came and did one with me the other night, and like when you set down, it shows you where the crate you have to protect is, right? So you need to go run to it, and then you got to wait for the waves to start coming. But if you pull out your gun before it's fully acknowledged, then then the guards in the place get mad at you for having your gun out.
Shut up.
No, literally, they do, and they'll start shooting at you. But if the wave starts, even if they're in the process of shooting you, they all of a sudden become on your side. But then when the safeguard mission is over, they'll start shooting at you again.
They resume,
Or when you complete that final wave, you have to put your gun away. Otherwise, they'll get mad at you for having your gun out, even though you just fought side by side with them that entire time. So that's an entertaining one for me. And I discovered, I always feel, if you're ever wondering, like, how do people know everything about this game? Nobody knows everything about this game. Mm-hmm. I discovered the other day, I was flying, I was doing these missions, and I was outside a station, and all of a sudden 2 cutters came flying in, and they were player cutters, and they were affiliated with Archer. So I'm like, I might, stick around, wait for them to come out of the station and shoot him. And then I'm sitting there, and I had the one guy targeted. He's in the station. And I'm waiting outside for him, and I was eager to see how the Cobra 5 was going to do against a cutter with a prismatic shield and a whole freaking shitload of shield boosters. So it was going to be tedious, I'm sure. And then all of a sudden, I was looking on my other screen, and I looked back, and all of a sudden the Hollow Square's gone. I'm like, what? Did he log off? And then I look, and the thing that I had targeted was him, but it was unmanned ship. So it's no longer hollow. It becomes a solid square when they disembark from their ship. I never knew that. So now...
because it's a player ship, but they have disembarked from it.
Yes. So then it goes to a solid square. So you guys are as surprised by this as I am then. Okay, good. So
I think I've noticed the difference when somebody was in their fighter. Like if a fighter's out, it will go solid or hollow depending on who is in charge. You know what I mean? I've seen that go up before, but I didn't put this together. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me now too. But then it's also, whenever you're flying into a station, if there's a hollow point, you always check out who it is. I never bother to check solid squares if they're on a pad or in the station. Now I realize I have to check it because they could be in the station at the moment. If I'm going to find real people, maybe this galaxy is super alive, but everybody's just not in their ship, because that's the way we like to play this game, take taxis. So, yeah. That's my story, and that's been my week, and that's I think everything to
that's it all
about Elite. Yeah, that's everything.
That's everything. Okay, let's see. I haven't opened up the sound machine yet, so I'm just going to talk about what I'm doing while I'm doing it. So I'm clicking on the thing, and then I'm clicking on the next thing, and the website's popping up because you guessed it, everybody. It's time for a Squadron update, and we're very quickly. Here we go.
Incoming priority message. Squadron briefing.
Just go play CQC.
Mhm.
Got it. We ready for the power play update?
The only thing we're messing with really is Miola. We're continuing to try to experiment to figure out ways to get around stuff that doesn't work the way it should work anymore. Whoever wrote the notes, well, I know who wrote the notes, and he's very optimistic. He's saying that he thinks that the elections are operating normally. I'd say that's a little premature. Probably want to wait until the end of the conflict and see if the assets transfer the way they're supposed to, and if they stay that way for 2 or 3 days, then maybe we can say that. But we'll see. So yeah, there's an election.
That's the same attitude you brought to me, seemingly confirming the
North
little-
American.
the North American bug fix there.
Yeah. I need at least 4 days in a row of them
I
not.
see. I tested like 6 of them in different systems, and they all worked, but it was only on one calendar day,
Right. Okay.
and none of them had anything to do with my power. They were all just the CG system, so those were God handed in, and a system next to it which was natural, but then immediately vaporized the next day because of war. Anyway.
God handed in natural.
But anyway, that's it. That's the only thing we care about as far as BGS right now is trying to get a hospital back in a certain doctor's hands, and it's getting close to being the definition of insanity. But we'll give it another try. And if you want to know more about it, you can read about it out on our Discord, where we talk about all the stuff that's broken BGS and suggest that you go play CQC instead. Or you can listen to a power play update that's coming up right now.
That's right, everybody. It's time. Know what this voice I'm doing is. Anyway, here we
Looking
go.
for the button.
This is the short PP report.
Target shields offline. Target destroyed.
It's average, so get your facts straight.
It's
All right.
average.
Cycle 28. It's in the books. Wait, it is cycle 28. It's
Is it?
cycle something 28, 27, 28. It's the next cycle. And last week was a busy one. It was a busy week. We know that Power CZs are broken, kind of, mostly in situations where there are BGS wars, which is everywhere because everything's broken and on fire. But
Power play
all of
causes
the-
BGS wars.
no, the two systems are separate.
Mm-hmm.
So we weren't able to do the combat stuff this week all that much, which is really depressing. And I use Anara for a lot of my data gathering for these reports, and I even went and found all of the Liang Rui systems that should have had power conflict zones popped into them. They each had BGS wars. Instead, there were only
Power
like
play
3 or 4.
causes BGS wars.
Yeah, I think the two systems are separate.
Power play causes BGS wars. BGS wars causes no power play conflict.
Wait a minute. I got a
Go on.
question.
Yeah.
It's cycle 28. Is it just going to keep being new cycles and just keep going up, or is there some rhyme or reason to this, or does it just keep
Is it a
going?
spiral? Time is a flat circle.
Well,
Time
I
is
don't
a
know.
flat circle.
So I mean,
Yes.
like before Power Play 2, would it be BC before cycles, and then
Oh,
Eight.
yeah. That's good. I like that.
Possibly.
I just don't know. I
Oh
don't know.
boy, did
I'm
I
just
not pay
curious.
attention to Power Play 1. Pre-Power Play. Did not care
Well,
about it.
did that have cycles? I don't even.
It had a
Oh.
weekly tick.
It
Yeah. I
did.
think it had cycles.
But it seemed like it was a cycle for like each individual commander, because you'd like sign up and you'd have to be signed up for so many weeks to get.
But it still
Well,
turned
those-
over on the Thursday.
It did.
Yeah, the Power Play
were they
cycle
numbered?
imminent was not new. That has
Well,
been
these
around
aren't
for a while.
numbered. They're only numbered because human commanders are counting them.
Oh, is it? FDev isn't doing this at all. We're just counting them ourselves.
don't-
Okay. I didn't.
Am I
know.
wrong?
I don't think you're wrong. Now that I think about it, I think we're
I
the
think
ones
it's
creating this.
I think it's just people who have been tracking Power Play 2 who have been calling them by their number so that they can refer to how long
Oh.
ago it was when something happened or what have you.
I
And
think
then
they
next
should
week when we talk
name
about
them.
cycle D,
cycle D. Well, what cycle we're at? 28. So
Yeah.
if they would have went letters, we would be to
like AB, right? AC,
AA, AB, yeah.
AA, BB,
alpha, beta.
C, DB.
No, AB first, and then 24 numbers later, then it would be BB.
Well, that's like if you're using, in
Yeah.
different bases, like binary or, basic.
Oh, that's true. We should do
do something-
hexadecimal.
Well, if you go over
Mm.
base 10, you use letters. So like base
Right.
11, it's 0 through 9 and then A. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
let's use a Thargoid version and go octal.
But we could do that, but then you don't need letters. Right? Where we're
So
going
we
with
had some
any of
changes
this.
in the leaderboards.
Okay, so anyway, cycle 1C.
Yeah. So cycle 1C, we're here doing the thing, guys. We had movement in not just the FDev official leaderboard, but in all the leaderboards that we track. Because now we have 3 variants that we like to look at, but Nices is where we stare at. And Ashley,
I'm going to put it on the screen.
is at the top. So congratulations to all of the blue-haired princess loving folks out there. You got Ashling on top. And maybe that's a euphemism. That's all I'm going to say for leaderboards. If you guys are curious, check out the Nices leaderboard per PowerPoints, their PowerPoints page on their website. Really
It's
cool
beautiful,
stuff. And
as you can see on the
it's-
video version if you're watching.
Oh, nice. Well, there's that. And all the way at the top, there's a drop down now where Nicey has put both FDev's version of the leaderboard as well as Kruger5, who is one of our frequent community members who kind of helped Nicey put together kind of another point system. So all cool stuff. Check it out. But I said it was a busy Power Play week, and it really was. I might post some of these in the show notes, but I'm going to go through some of the major conflicts of the week. There were 10. We're not going to cover 10, but there were legitimately 10 outstanding conflicts. Because we have more information in the API now available to the EDDN, Inara has a lot more information, which means I can look at undermining. I can see systems that are going to be undermined and taken down. I can see where those contests are getting close to. So it's nice to start seeing some unobvious things. I guess that's the word. So for instance, we have Archon Delane and Denton Petraeus in the system Gondui. Maybe an important system for them. I don't know where it's at. Gondui, and these are, by the way, in contested systems that are unoccupied, FDev is measuring these, or Inara, I should say, is measuring these in percentages. 100% being that 120,000 control point to get full control. Obviously, if both or more than one power is over the 100% point, then it just keeps on going until the first past the post, whoever gets the most points wins. So in this system, Archon Delane had 552% over that 120,000 control points to Denton Petraeus's nearly 800% over those control points.
He controlled
Why?
it 8 times.
I don't know. I don't know what the system was or what was happening, but they were having a super good time in this system, duking it out. There's some other curious systems. For instance, Naguri, that's with 2 Y's, Oblivious. That is the system.
Why are you calling out Oblivious?
Because Oblivious went
Because
with,
I would put ones in them.
True. Also, we went on a rares run. Was it last week or the week before? And I had this nice little route planned out, and I definitely sent everybody to Naguri with 1 eye. Which is not the system that sells Soontail relics. In fact, it's a couple hundred light years away. Anyways, so that's Naguri with 2 eyes. Spoiler alert, it's the system that sells Soontail relics. Arisa Lavinia Duval, is currently controlling that system. Right over about, they're calling it 35% overexploited is where they're at. Well, they've gotten over 50,000, but 55,000 control points worth of undermining against them this last cycle. So somebody is trying to undermine Nagurix,
Somebody
which
wants
is
the
interesting.
Soontil relics.
Somebody wants those Soontil relics, and it doesn't matter at all. I don't think you get any benefit from owning a system with rares.
No, it's where you sell them that matters, and really, you kind of want to be far from where you want to sell them so that they're worth more. Soontils are special because that you can buy them in lots of 120 now. And they're quite
great.
far from our space. They're outstanding for over in our neck of the woods because they're like
Big
200 something light years away. So. Yeah,
big fan there. I'll also mention that the CG system that was LP 85534, which is officially over. When we left, I haven't checked the Gal map today, but when we left last night, there was 1 million points of undermining against Felicia Winters that took control the week prior and the week before the end of the CG, and now that's almost certainly unoccupied.
What's the name again? Sorry.
LP 855-34.
Holy Jesus. Sorry, guys. I was trying to get into Shinrarta or Jameson Memorial right now. It's a fucking chaos. So, sorry.
LP 85534? That's not right.
LP 855-34.
Oh,
is
okay.
currently unoccupied. So that is...
Yes.
That's movement.
Oh, that's right. Because I just called it up right now. Yes, unoccupied and hardly anything going on. Jerome and Felicia are vying for it.
There are new points there, so
because all that work last week basically got changed the state of the system, and then they started from zero.
Yeah, Felicia had control of it for a week, and then whatever happened over the next week between Grom and Archer, there was 1 million points worth of undermining, and they just lost it immediately.
I think it's so interesting that Felicia was ahead in the CG, but losing in power play so severely last week, like just getting hammered out of the system while at the same time winning.
Weird.
So it's like I guess that's a tick in the column of these are separate, because even though the CG was about power play powers, they didn't make it count for power play. So in winning the CG, I guess they were just delivering the platinum, which did very little for actual power play, and they totally lost.
Yep.
Because they won. I don't get this game sometimes. Anyway.
Things are happening. Things are moving. No, that was honestly, there are more. I don't know if any of them are worth mentioning. There is a huge undermining conflict in V886 Centauri that saw Grom had a fortified system there. It was just over fortified, and then Ashling. I'm assuming Ashling, which is the closest power, applied about 1 million points of undermining to take it back down to exploited. So it's interesting to see what's going on there, but definitely I think I haven't seen this prior. Now there could be just a product of the way that we're seeing this data is different, but I would like to think that the change in the way points are being acquired and accumulated is causing this. That's the hope.
Yeah, and defense is minus 35 or minus 40% all told. So that helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think it's...
And that's... Go ahead.
Well, I was just about to say I'm still looking at the scoreboard. Nice's and Kruger's numbers don't agree on a couple of the places. They swap Yuri, Grom, and Leong Ri, and who else? Archon and Denton Petraeus swap. Or no, Archon and Felicia are the ones that swap.
And if I remember correctly...
Oh no, Felicia swaps down 2 places on Nice's versus Kruger. That's interesting. That's a pretty big change.
Nice. You'll listen to this at some point in the next couple of days. Let's add like a key to each of these. Like, how are the numbers adding up? Because I know Nice's
Doesn't
original
it-
was like 1, 2, 3, right, for exploited, fortified,
Yeah.
and red stronghold. And Kruger's actually using the actual point needed to get to those 120,
Right.
360, whatever it is.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's closer to like 1, 4, 10.
Yes.
Is the proper ratios if you were to do it by control points. And then of course FDev system actually doesn't flip that much of the order either. All told, they only move a couple of people, seem to. But
I
yeah,
should mention
it's not that different.
in our space, we do have some objectives that are kind of fun. A bit depressing because we chose Janara. That's with a D Delta, as like gin. Like I rubbed a bottle and a gin came out. That's Janara. Check out the orders for this week. We got excited because we saw this system that was nearby that our friends Antle had already started working. They were already past the conflict threshold, and we're like, yeah, let's look and see if we can make conflict zones appear. I think we got them for a day.
We did. Yes, we
Right.
got them for
Half a day.
approximately 20 hours or something, and then the BGS kicked right in.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Pain is real.
It is. So Janara, Wolf 10, those are acquisition points. We're working together with ADI, our neighbors, on getting Tamor reinforced to a fortified state. And undermining is a great time. And we're probably going to pick another stronghold carrier and go beat it up for a while because those are always there.
That works.
They're pretty
We're
fun.
way out in front in Wolf 10.
Oh, yeah. That should be
Way
easy.
out in front. Out in front on both of them, but way out in front on Wolf 10. There aren't even conflict there. It looks like we'll just walk away with that one unless Antal wakes up soon.
Yeah, and I think the way that we're trying to pick these systems too is there's definitely some strategery involved, but most of the strategery nowadays is can we get conflicts to happen? Because that is our favorite content.
I literally was just trying to. I saw those two systems, and because Antal was already in play in Jara? What did we decide?
Janara.
We say
Janara.
Janara. That's how we say. Okay. Since they were already there, I was like, well, this will be the easiest one to achieve actual conflict zones, which I needed to create in order to get this bug to appear and document it again, even after Frontier's latest fix, and say, no, that's not the whole extent of the problem. Because none of this works. None of this gets any attention if you just tell them, hey, this thing's been happening since the beginning. That basically does nothing. We have to get people stirred up and get hundreds of people to vote for this stupid thing. Which I guess the system has some merit, but it is frustrating at times like this when things are so obvious and it's not like this hidden thing. It's like it's been like this from the beginning and it's very, very clear. But anyway, so
well, it's
caused
just
the
like every
problem
other issue.
I was like causing the problem intentionally just so I could get this. And then Lark got all stirred up, as you said, and it was like, oh my god, like he's so worked up. He was so angry about it. And I was like, there you go, bud. I was like, I did this on purpose, though, because I knew that was going to happen. And he somehow missed the memo that this was even a bug, I guess. He knew about the North America bug. He didn't know about the other thing. So he went through it all a few days after I did. It's like follow the same roller coaster. So anyway.
There is still fun to be had, guys. Check out the Power Play hub on our server where we post orders semi-frequently, somewhat regularly, but they're on there. And give us a shout. And if you guys see something out there that you want us to go and beat up, let us know because that's what we like to do. So
if you see something, say something.
Yeah, that got us far.
Nice.
Okay, that's that.
Okay, that's that. Galnet news. Winters won the CG, but lost the system in Power Play because that makes sense.
Yeah.
As I was saying earlier. Great. There's a new Corsair Shipkit. You know what? We're going to go back to it because I just want to gaze upon it a little bit more. So we're going to go back out to the main menu. New Corsair Shipkit with 4 paint jobs. And I'm just going to take a peek at it. It's fun to do.
I'm a fan. I really like the with these having the one image that shows it's the model, like the ship gets outlined specifically. So there's no
Yes,
color.
where they
Oh,
sort
yeah.
of highlight what the pieces are. That's one
Yeah.
I kind of, yeah, it would be sort of nice to be able to do that in game, right?
Mhm.
But I have whatever. You can sort of pan through the different. Now the controls aren't working. Why? Oh, there we go. The controls for switching through the different models and the different paint jobs. There's a red one, a white one, and a gold one, and a green one. Shipkit looks pretty cool. I don't know. I have to sort of compare to what I'm using. They have a pretty good, fun-looking rear end on it. On this kit.
I like what
Hey,
are those
now.
wings on the side there?
Yeah,
What's
it
on the
does.
end of the wings? What are those
The
businesses?
pontoons have kind of little
Yes.
forky things sticking out of the front, which I also
I like
kind of
'em.
dig. Yeah, I might pick this up. Okay, let's talk beak. So what they've kind of done is the beak is there, but it's got like a rim on the bottom now.
They give the chin.
Yeah, well, but it's like a dish. It's like, I don't know. It's interesting. Kind of big flat piece, and it's got the little cover. It's pretty cool. I don't know. Might pick this up. I don't know if I care for any of these paints though.
That's how they're routing air into the brake ducts to keep those brakes nice and cold in space.
You're
Air.
the worst. Oh wait, I just noticed something. This kit on the pontoons, it covers up the exposed. It mostly covers up the exposed, like rotating engine parts in there. There's sort of a guard over them that you can peek through the side of, but it's like a, yeah, it's like a little fin thing. So this pack, 16,800 arcs, comes with 4 paints and the kit. It's a good deal. Like
That's a pretty great deal.
the paints, the red one's pretty cool. I'd probably rock the red one or the green one if I decide to go hunt a Thargoid. I just need more paint so I can swap things around. Okay. Anyway,
How
blah
much
blah
does
blah.
16,800 arcs cost? Like in
How much? I think
dollars.
that's near $20.
So
I
you
think
hear that,
$20
FDev?
buys you 18,000 arcs. I think.
Okay, so
It
FDev.
is
FDev needs to
$13.
listen. They get to, if they fix Power CZs, Trax
they'll
is
get
giving
that.
you $20.
There you go.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, fix Power CZs and I will buy this.
I mean, you're not desperate, but I mean, $20 is $20, right?
Yeah, well, I have like 9,000 arcs right now, so
Oh.
I need to make a purchase in order to buy this. So yeah, fix them and I'll buy it.
There
Yep.
you go.
Yep.
We're resorting to bribing.
That's right.
Also,
right.
there's a sale of the salvage paint jobs. If you guys are into the blue and orange or black and red variety paint jobs.
Oh, which one? Those are the ones with like roll cages and stuff on them.
This is just the paint jobs, I believe, from the I don't even think it's from the salvage kits. I think they're a separate paint job set. But it's
I'm looking
it's
through and
salvage
I'm not
orange and
seeing
salvage
that.
black.
They're not
You would-
advertising it in featured. Is that where I should be looking?
I'm looking on the Elite site, the Elite store
Oh.
for sale. But they're
Elite store
definitely-
under sale, huh?
Yeah, these are older ships though, so you know.
Who
I'm
gives
gonna
a
get
shit?
I'm gonna get a Type 6 paint job right now. So I'm gonna do.
See, I love
Like-
on my Mark II, I've got that ship kit with the roll bars and stuff all over it, and that rusty
Mhm.
kind of paint job. I just love how
Uh-huh.
that ship just looks.
Yep.
So, I don't know, grungy. I love it.
The rusty one from the Raider kit.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you know what we didn't talk about is with the base customizations, now they added them for the asteroid bases, which seems like a lot, huh? This is 12,000 arcs and it just basically like colors some
The rebar.
scaffolding on one side
Right.
of your one side of your base. Is that
Wait, what?
so? You know, an asteroid base, it doesn't have panels. Like, so the other kinds of bases, like, it
Okay,
changes
I'm
quite a
looking at
bit
it here.
about the look of the base, right? Like, in fact, we'll go look at Ocellus. Like, you see the different colors, right? You make an Ocellus red, it's like the
Yeah,
whole thing's red. It's cool looking, right? You
yeah.
do that to a Coriolis, like the yellow. It's got a bunch of yellow and white detailing. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Asteroid base. It's not like they changed the color of the asteroid.
I do have to admit that would have been really fucking stupid. So I'm kind of glad that they.
It would have been
that's
so
right.
dumb.
It would have been
I
dumb to
want a
paint
pink
the
asteroid.
asteroid. Yes,
I
but
should have
like
an ice asteroid and they paint it red.
it's also like asteroid base starport copper gray is 17,000 arcs.
Oh my god.
So like some of these are more, some of these are 12. The red is only 10,000. So this vary quite a bit. Why is that? Like these are colors. Like this is digital stuff. Why? So
There's
basically,
this-
these are more desirable, right? So they think they can mark them up and people will still buy them. Is obviously the answer. So,
So it actually can be the opposite. In the when you're like marketing stuff, sometimes your marketing campaign is your pricing model, where you price something higher and that makes it a luxury
Yeah.
item.
Hey guys, this is the coolest.
Yeah, because
Exactly.
I'm looking at the Coriolis version of copper gray, and it looks like it has some of the shiny to it, like it's got some of the reflective sort of thing. But still, I keep coming back to, and then they put it on an asteroid base, and it's like there's barely anything there. Is this really? I find this highly questionable.
I
All right,
respect it.
I'm turning this off. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Like you sort of you anchor our opinions of what the value of things are by pricing them a certain way. I like to think I pay more attention to whether I like the color. Like I paid, so there was a sale, 30% on most of the store. And during that sale, I noticed the one Python Mark II paint job that wasn't on sale was the foxglove something, the Venom foxglove color. There's a few of the Venom colors. They were all on sale. The foxglove was not. And it was the coolest one. It has this thing that like changes color from different angles and stuff. And I was like, well, that's the one I want. I'm going to pay full price for it. Because it's the one they didn't put on sale. And I feel like they knew. I was like, this is the coolest one. We don't have to put this one on sale.
Well,
I was like,
so
okay, you know,
exclusive.
it's a few
Couldn't even
bucks,
do
like
it.
whatever, not a big deal. But like now what am I doing? Asteroid
You're
base. Asteroid
You're
base.
clearly
Anyway.
going to buy. Well, okay. The other thing is that these aren't a one-time use. But yeah, I don't want to defend these too much, right? But
Oh,
you can
right.
apply these on as many bases as you'd like to. So if you're building an empire, this could be fairly economical.
Okay. I think we're halfway there. I think at these prices, at 12 to 17,000 arcs, it really should have been, if I buy red, I can put it on any shape of base, shape or size of base I want.
Okay.
Not just any Ocellus base, right? And then I have to rebuy it for Coriolis. Because it should have been a little bit more like engine and weapon colors.
Would they have made more money that way? I mean, that's the question you got to ask.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, would you have been more likely to buy one of the colors than all your stuff? Well, none of us are really into the colonization stuff. We're the wrong people to ask.
Yeah, we kind of are.
Because I mean,
Yeah.
all this stuff. I'm sorry, all you guys that love your colonization, but I just think
That's cool.
It's not for me. That's the nicest way I can say that. So yes. But yeah, this is just another one of those things that the coloring of these bases, it's one of those things. I'm glad it's in the game. You know, why the hell not? And if they make some money off of it, fine. They're not getting any money from me off of it, but hey, somebody might.
Yeah, it's kind of a lot. If I was doing a lot of bases, it'd be one thing, I guess, but that's not my gameplay, so I can't really. My opinion doesn't matter very much because of what you're saying.
Yeah.
Um,
But I mean,
but-
at the end of the day, why not have more colors, though? I mean, as you said, it's just digital pixel. It's just pixels.
Yeah.
A guy could be just picking a bunch of colors. Let's put this one on the storm. Put this. They could have just put out a whole shit ton of these.
Well, I know. I mean, the art team does have to go and like change the color of the models. But speaking of something that's not a one-time use, they do that
Yeah.
once and then they sell it 1,000 times or whatever. So anyway, whatever. More will come, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe it'll be like fleet carriers where they release
This is
whatever
it.
they released, and then fucking 30 years later, everybody's like, "So still no plants in my office, huh? Really? The money was right here in my hand,
I mean, the bobbleheads that I have in my
amazing.
ship, I can't have in my office. I don't understand. Yeah.
It's-
The
Well, that
elements
would
in
make
the
them no
game,
money.
the elements in the game that you, as the pilot, see the most often, like your fleet carrier and those bases,
Yeah.
have the fewest colors. Yet the thing that you can't see because you're sitting in your cockpit, you've got a huge palette of colors. Yeah,
But you take your
even suit
screenshots,
customizations.
yeah, I
Even
saw
suit
your
customizations. There's a
screenshots.
ton of
Other
them.
people see you, and that's what it's about. It's flexing.
Right.
Oh.
Suit stuff, Odyssey stuff is really expensive. I haven't
There's a
touched
ton of it.
any of that. There's tons of it. There's a ton for every single iteration of every gun, and I haven't touched a lick of it. It's really expensive, and it's like the thing that I almost do least in the game, right? So it's like it wasn't going to happen anyway. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, that
kinda
was the
crazy.
big price change too. Is Odyssey was newer at the time of the price change, but like things those only went up a little bit, and everything else kind of came up almost to match. So
Yeah, but I mean, look at if you just have some arcs you need to spend and you don't have many, you can buy some aviator metal framed glasses for your avatar. It's only 20 arcs. There's a bargain for you.
I feel like I have those because they used to be just included. I have some kind of glasses.
Well, you have that.
Are they not
plastic
those?
frame. No, I don't know. They've got 2 pairs of glasses that are only 20 arcs each.
I think I have
their
some
pricing is
clear
serious.
glasses and some sunglasses, and they were just part of the game. They
No,
weren't something you had to buy.
No, you bought them when they used to be super expensive. I know you were super. You're like I'm
No,
going to be
although-
Maverick.
when I bought the game, I bought the Commander pack, whatever, on Steam, which included
Commander?
a bunch of like flag paints for like the Viper and the Cobra 3, and included a few little things, and it might have included those sunglasses. That might be why.
Gotcha.
But that was like Hollow Me sunglasses. It was before Odyssey, obviously.
Yeah. I just noticed that because you mentioned the Commander stuff, and I'm like, wow, this stuff is crazy expensive. Then, like, the biggest picture on that page on their online store is the Avatar metal frame glasses for 20 arcs. It's the single largest thing on the page. And right next to that, a much smaller picture, you can get, the Metro Badlands pack for 25,000.
Yeah.
These guys, I tell you.
25,000. God, that's more than the station. It is kind of funny that like the little stuff is super expensive.
Yeah.
It is funny. Oh well.
Yeah. It is what it is.
All right. There's the only other thing in my notes, which we already discussed at length, was my rage-inducing power play bug that's still going on. The issue link is down there in the show notes. It is issue number 70594, if you care. It's one that Lark found that is about this problem. The original poster erroneously stated that 2 BGS wars in a system will displace the power play conflict zones. 2 wars are not needed. A single war will do. They must have just experienced it in a system where 2 wars break out. I imagine that is also likely because, as previously stated, power play causes BGS wars, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I had
that's it.
asked about that on the Discord because I was just curious if the problem had changed, and people were like Lark is like, I don't care if it's one problem or two problem. This problem's driving me nuts because he's fully rage induced.
Because he was rage.
But I was just asking for scientific reasons to know if the problem had changed, because that original one listed there was from December. I think Christmas Eve or something is when that person. How much rage do you have to have at this game if you're on their issue tracker on Christmas Eve? By the way,
Christmas is ruined.
Yeah, no, nothing's changed, and this system only has one BGS war, and they disappeared instantly. But it's been going on for a while, and it has been posted before, and the issues expired before getting voted on. And it took a while because Power Play wars were hard to come by. Power Play powers were not really getting into very many conflicts. It was harder to get them because reinforcing was so much easier than attacking, that once somebody has control of a system, it's very, very hard to take it away. So that's presumably been fixed and adjusted now. And then later the Trailblazers came out, and so suddenly there wasn't any need to take systems from people. You can just take newly colonized systems. There's a bunch of reasons why there wasn't very many conflicts. But now that they're starting to happen again, let's see if we can get this fixed. So I'm going to click it right now and just see if it says anything about its current status. If I mouse over the thing, it says acknowledged. Hopefully that means somebody in Cambridge is going to take a peek at this.
Or it's saying it's acknowledging you're hovering over it. Yes.
It could be. The pyramid is only the very top piece of the pyramid isn't colored in. So I think the very top piece would be confirmed, which would be when they have looked at it and admit that, yes, it's a bug and we plan to fix it or something. So
wonder how many statuses they have. Acknowledged, confirmed, apathy. That would be great. They just tag it with apathy. You know, good luck,
like that one.
Yeah, right, bro.
Suck it, tracks.
Get real, yeah.
That'd be great. But yeah, I don't know. I'll be excited to see if they actually fix it, or they say it's acknowledged, but acknowledged to who? They just somebody there just said, hey, look, people, we got enough votes. It's probably triggers automatically, gets enough votes, and it triggers on the website. Well, this one's acknowledged, and now it's in some queue to look at. So,
I assume the confirmed state that issues eventually have, because I'm looking at other ones and some of them say confirmed. I assume that is when a person has actually investigated it. And that certainly would never happen until whatever it is gets enough votes. So
you would definitely think so.
That is what I have decided to think.
I can live with that decision. Good choice.
Okay. Community Corner, Roy's Stories, DS3 edition, season 2. Out now.
Hey.
Get it in you.
DS3. Is it DS3 over, or is there still people doing that?
But he wrote stories about it. Are there people?
I think Jello. Shouldn't that be instead of Jello? 2, shouldn't it be DS4?
Single mall still out there? But yeah, there's one or two.
Roy's Stories is stories. It's not an expedition. It's not a thing people are doing. They're just experiencing the stories.
It's true.
You know about this. Why am I telling you this?
You want to, because
he tricked me into talking about things again. God damn it.
Here's the trick is like we talk about so many things that seem like inside, we know them, but we're talking about them like other people know them and they don't. So I ask questions, so then we elaborate a little bit, and hopefully then people know what the fuck we're talking about.
You're being rhetorical with me. Yeah.
I'm retarded. One of the two. You choose.
I choose rhetorical.
Okay. I want to mention something though. Yeah, you guys think I'm obsessive with this game and
what
stuff,
grinds
right?
your gears, Jake?
No, this isn't grinding my gears. This is just saying that we've got a member of our squadron who actually is more obsessive and accomplishes more things in this game than I do, which is kind of crazy. Single Malt Scotty is in the top 100 on Anara rankings.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, where's he at? He's 99th, so he's in the top 100. So, and how many commanders on Anara are we? Where's this rankings? Let's go rankings. Let's click the last page. And there are 267,000. So he's in the top 100. So he's in the 99.6th percentile of commanders as far as accomplishing things. And you can say, well, there's a lot of commanders not there, because not everybody uses Anara. Yeah, but anybody who's high on the list is probably on Anara who's done those kind of things. And a lot of the things in this game, you got to put in a lot of effort to accomplish in order to move up those rankings. So he's definitely higher than that. He's probably in the 99.9th percentile of players. It's kind of bonkers, actually.
And not just grindy things either. Not just like, I've done this for a long time. You remember when he started hunting Thargoids?
Oh yeah.
And real quickly scooted right up, and he's done a lot more challenge Hydra kills and stuff than I have.
Yeah, in our squadron, he is
serious business.
I would say he's probably the best pilot, best bug killer, best CQC player, best about everything that involves a spaceship in this game. So yeah,
he leapt right up on CQC too. Holy shit!
Yeah, well, he's got his old console commander and his PC commander in the top 100. It's kind of crazy. Go click on the CQC rankings and you'll see. Find Cam. I think they're right next to each other.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
All right. A special report of a Chig Chat special report.
Yeah. Well, we'll start updating a single malt status each week just to annoy him. This week's Scotty report.
The malt report. Yeah.
Yeah. He's now killed Chig and collected 10 billion credits just because he wants it. I think he'd be the one pilot I would genuinely fear coming after me, to tell you the truth.
He's on that list for sure.
I mean, I don't think I want tracks coming out to get me. I think that would be interesting. But Scotty, don't come get me, Scott, please.
Well,
luckily
Chig,
Scotty doesn't need the money.
No, he
Chig,
doesn't. He has more credits than I do. What's that?
You're ranked 155. Chiggy.
No, that's a different Chig.
Is it? Is it?
There's only one.
Chig's like throwing a can across the room. He's like, look over there.
It's that NPC Chig that they keep on killing. It's that one.
Yeah. Notice I changed my name in Discord. It's no longer Commander Chig. It's just Chig. So I'm trying to pass as an NPC.
He quickly leaves his ship so it turns solid.
That's a good place to bookend this one. All right. Anything else you guys want to stick in this show?
Yeah, fork.
Is that a euphemism?
That's terrible. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening and watching and all that stuff. And please, I don't know, if you haven't voted for this issue tracker thing, it means a lot to me and apparently Lark. You'd be doing me a personal favor. And hey, if you're interested in Power Play at all, honestly, like, how does this not annoy the shit out of you? It's been there since the beginning. It's so obvious.
Well, just high-end space combat in this game, as far as like NPCs.
Yeah.
It's the only place you can really find like elite NPCs on a regular basis. And
yeah, Power Play CZs are the real deal. Those ships are extremely hardened, and not just like the way engineered ships in BGS CGs are. Like, they have a ton of module armor. You can't just shoot out their modules and expect a kill. It's not the same. You got to build your ships differently for those. They're very interesting in that sense. But anyway, get in there. Links in the show notes. That's it. Thanks.
Is it? No.
Yep.
Yes. Maybe.
That's it. See you next week. If they fix the bug, I'll try to be here next week. If they didn't, I'll do something else with my life.
Wait. What's that Dr. Seuss quote? Don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. In this case, it's the opposite. Don't cry because it happened, smile because it's over.
All right, everybody. See you next time. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Lark, stop packing those carrots. You don't need them.
Issue tractor.